All right, let's get into the story we have been talking about. A Sacramento-based builder of ADUs called Nonna Homes is in the spotlight. The state recently suspended their license, and now the president of the company says Nonna Homes is in the process of closing its operations. ABC 10's Jeannie Nguyen has been talking to families for months who say that their ADUs still are not finished.
Alex, Nonna Homes has been accused of fraud, non-payment of subcontractors, and overcharging homeowners. Following my months of conversations with homeowners, one family tells me their unfinished project is leaving more questions than answers.
We have a great view. We're going to look at the farms.
Sandy Johnson, a grandmother of 3, is ready to call this ADU her forever home.
It will be nice to finally have it be ours.
Her son and daughter-in-law, Corey and Christy Johnson, have spent the last year and a half adding an ADU in their backyard as a way to have grandparents nearby, using Sandy and her husband's life savings to fund it.
Developed this plan that we would build an ADU for them so they would have their own space and place. And it all sounded like a really great and easy idea at the time, but it would be perfect for us being in close proximity and being able to take care of them.
They signed a contract with Nonna Homes ADU in September 2024. They agreed to a $275,000 project. Christy says they did their research, looking up the company through state and business websites.
I got on CSLB. I looked all over Yelp, Google reviews. There were no complaints on CSLB at that time and no negative reviews. They were all positive.
The Rancho Cordova Chamber of Commerce even celebrated Nonna Homes with a ribbon cutting in this video posted on Facebook. The two people leading the company, CEO Dave Simmons and President Ray Guano. After paying $1,000 for the down payment, Christy says Nonna Homes asked for more money and little else followed. The California Contractor States License Board, or CSLB, calls this a red flag. They say California law prohibits down payments to exceed $1,000 or 10% of the contract amount, and the contractor shall neither request nor accept payments that exceed the value of the work performed or materials delivered. That was not the case for the Johnsons.
But immediately, you pay an onboarding fee of $13,500, and that was paid. All of the invoices that our in-laws paid were exactly on time, and so that was right away.
The schedule of progress payments on their contract shows the down payment, but also an additional 5% due at signing for pre-construction onboarding. For months, the couple says they paid milestone after milestone.
We had architectural plans that they emailed to us. We had not seen anybody on our property, though. Not one person had come here in that whole time to make sure that the ADU was going to work.
From September 2024 to June 2025, the Johnsons say they paid $83,706.25 and saw no physical work done on their property.
Phone calls, emails, text messages happening with lots of promises. Oh, we're going to be back, they're going to be back.
This text message from July 2025 shows what appears to be President Ray Guano apologizing for the lack of communication, saying, quote, "This is a people business, and consistency, clarity, and responsiveness matter more than ever when families are trusting us with something as important as their home and their finances." But a month later, the Johnsons say they were hit with this lien from 2 building supply companies for more than $6,400 for lumber, doors, windows, and cabinets. Christy says subcontractors working on her ADU also told her they were not getting paid.
And called and asked, "Have you been paid?" And he said, "I haven't been paid. I've got a portion of it, but I'm still owed."
Christy says when she asked Nonna Homes to clarify payments to subcontractors, the company changed its tone. In this email from Ray Guano, he says, quote, "Do me a favor, leave my name out of your emails," adding, quote, "I will no longer have communications with you, period. Don't do it again, or I will come at you in my personal protecting rights."
I was afraid. I was afraid of him. He's a very, I'm going to say he's a bully.
From June 2025 to August 2025, the Johnsons paid an additional $110,000. In total direct payments to Nonna Homes, they paid $193,706.25. Christy says they've gone well over budget and started paying subcontractors directly instead of through Nonna Homes.
We're at getting close to $300,000.
Beto Yorostegui was hired by Nonna Homes to work on the Johnsons' ADU. But once he finished his job, he says he was left without a paycheck.
I want to say $15,000 and change, plus some materials that we ended up buying to complete it. They were supposed to supply all the materials, but their list was short, so we purchased some stuff to complete it.
Adi El Amamare says he worked multiple projects for Nonna Homes, totaling more than $40,000, including the Johnsons, and is still waiting to be paid.
And they are giving us a very wrong information between them. Dave say something different than what Ray he said. In the end, we find ourselves like in the big circle without any exit.
The CSLB confirms complaints against Nonna Homes increased throughout 2025, with 8 complaints referred to the California Attorney General's office.
So Nonna ADU and Construction has 23 disclosable complaints against them right now, and there are 8 of those that have been referred to legal action. Complaints include alleged violations of abandonment, excessive payments for both down payments and progress payments, not paying subcontractors, potential fraud.
On January 22nd, the CSLB told ABC 10 that due to these complaints and their investigation, they canceled Nonna ADU and Construction's $25,000 contractor's bond and suspended their license. They say their actions will not stop there.
We're still going to pursue our accusation to revoke the license because that's going to help prevent future harm to consumers. Because if they continue to have a license, they can continue to potentially have harm to consumers.
In a statement, Ray Guano tells ABC 10, quote, Nonna Homes is in the process of closing its operations. I did not control or direct the company's finances, payments, bank accounts, or accounting. Matters involving financial activity are currently under review by counsel. My focus is on protecting the people affected and allowing the proper legal process to take place. Because these are ongoing legal matters, I cannot make any further statement at this time. ABC 10 checked with the Johnsons to see if they've had any contact with Ray. They say they have not. Former CEO Dave Simmons initially agreed to an interview with ABC 10, but backed out and provided us with a 1-page written statement that says in part, quote, I did not hold a formal role with responsibility for construction operations, project execution, contracting, billing, or sales. My involvement with the company was primarily related to marketing activities and administrative support, and I did not have authority over sales decisions, pricing, or customer agreements. He says he resigned from the company when he realized operations were not being conducted in a manner consistent with his values. For Christy and Corey, the fight is far from over.
This is their life savings. This is their home, the money that they had built 40 years ago and sold to build an ADU to spend the rest of their days on. And sorry, Grammy. And it's horrible because it has now been taken. It's wrong.
The Johnsons filed a complaint with the CSLB. Looking forward, they say they are considering taking legal action against Nonna Homes. Ultimately, they say they have hope things will work themselves out, so Sandy can one day be able to call this space home.
You just go on then with life and look forward to what's coming and not just dwell on the difficult or the bad things, you know?
A spokesperson for the Attorney General's office would not comment, confirm, or deny any potential or ongoing investigation into Nonna Homes. Alex.
And I think a question that a lot of people probably have are what are Ray and Dave doing next? It was kind of a surprising new chapter that you found. Talk a little bit about that.
Yes, Alex, this is what I was able to find. Records with the state show that Dave is the CEO of a company called Strata X Developments, which claims to help people in the Bay Area build ADUs. For Ray, social media posts show him promoting a company called Blueprint One Developments, and it offers a variety of services, including how to protect homeowners before they commit to a 6-figure construction project contract to build an ADU. And I want to note that I wasn't able to find any records for Blueprint One Developments being registered as a business on the Secretary of State's website.
All right, Jeannie, thank you for that update. If you have any questions, let us know. If you've been impacted, reach out to us.